Hi, my name is Rianne Butler and I'm here with Margaux Chetrit of Three Matches. Three Matches is a sophisticated dating concept, family owned and operated. Three Matches is an opportunity for clientele who appreciate the luxury of having their dates hand-picked and screened especially for them. Margaux is the president and a matchmaker of this international agency. Welcome, Margaux. Three Matches is derived from the ancient Talmudic belief that he who is responsible for three introductions is rewarded in the afterlife. Can you tell us about this and Three Matches?
Well, traditional Judaism places great value on marriage and everything else that goes along with it. In other words, love, sex, family, and matchmakers. This idea is repeated all over the Bible and other mystical texts. Now, a common belief within Jewish lore is that a person who brings three couples together is rewarded with a place in heaven. So, that means a matchmaker gets that place. Anyways, I really like this wisdom and wanted my agency to reflect it, hence the name Three Matches. As a funny aside, by the way, I just recently read an article in Vogue magazine about Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg, and her sister was actually speaking of this concept herself, and she said Sheryl has already matched 4 couples. So I think I have some competition up ahead. Who knows, there could be 4 matches opening up soon.
Okay, so the next question. As someone who sets up people a lot on dates, what do you think is the most common mistakes people make?
I've seen, I've heard, I've even personally been a victim of some of these mistakes. I think a lot of the mistakes people are making right now when dating is a result of the generation we belong to. We're continuously hooked up to some sort of technology, be it our cell phones, our laptops, our iPads. These amazing gadgets are, of course, making our lives better on many levels, but they're also leaving us with impaired communication skills. We are wrecks when we're speaking to each other in person. We're less graceful in real life social situations because we rarely experience them. Some of our conversations actually seem downright gauche because they're just not as eloquent in real life as they were in a text message. I think we need to regain that level of face-to-face comfort, and we need to start avoiding those mistakes, or at least being aware of them. Now, another big mistake is, the obvious one. People do play games, and of course there's nothing wrong with a little bit of games. It does spice up relationships, but matters of the heart are really delicate. The policy I advocate is as follows. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And truly, I really believe in this. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We know that. John Gray taught us that many years ago. Now, I'll teach this audience that to make a relationship work, you need to find that common language between Mars and Venus so that they could communicate and live harmoniously and quote-unquote happily ever after.
Our Miss New York went on 10 dates with Mr. VIP, despite their age difference of 12 years. After that, she realised the age difference was an issue and she couldn't push it aside. Do you think that age is more than just a number? Are there other sure signs that generally point to things not working out?
You're definitely asking the wrong person that question. Men to me are like good wine. They improve with age. I have a personal affinity for older men because as a general rule, they've come into their own. They know who they are, and they know what they want out of life, and it's more straightforward to determine if your goals can exist in parallel with theirs, and if your relationship can exist at all. Furthermore, with the years, they acquire experience and know-how in the field of women that makes them excellent dates, wonderful lovers, and all-around perfect companions. With all of that being said, though, age is essentially just a number. People don't break up because destiny led them to being born in different years. People break up because their interests, their values, their personalities clash. I remember following Miss New York's romance with Mr. VIP and really being engaged by the romance. It seemed very genuine. It seemed like there was a lot of passion. There was no indication of age being a problem per se. They shared the same lifestyle, the same interests. It wasn't that he was too old or he was acting too old or she was too immature, too young. She never really indicated that there was any sort of problem like that. Miss New York was quite vague, though, about what was troubling them. I might guess, based on her preoccupation with the age issue, that it was related to marriage and children, which in their case was kind of a time-sensitive issue. Otherwise, the relationship seemed to be mutually fulfilling and moving in a healthy direction. I wish I knew what happens in the end. Maybe we could find out in another installment of 365 Dates.
365 Dates Miss New York, Rachel Russo, is a matchmaker herself. Do you think that people are generally good at making their own matches?
That's a good question. The theoretical answer, of course, I should say is yes. But I mean, life is lived, and we don't live it by rules. Love can be blind, it could even be blinding to the most seasoned matchmaker. I can speak for myself at least when I say being a matchmaker has been the best and worst thing to happen to my own love life. I've learned countless lessons from observing my clients, but I've also become, I find, very over-analytical based on my own experiences and based on my clients' experiences and reflections on my own advice that I so freely dispense to my clients. In terms of matches, though, I've truly practiced what I preach and accepted as many dates as I possibly can because, as a 365 dates hypothesis suggests, it may just be a game of numbers. And I want to win that game, of course.
Don't we all? We understand your matchmaking business operates in a range of large cities, including Montreal, Miami, New York, London, and Paris. One complaint that we hear sometimes is that some people find it difficult to find time to date. Do you have any tips for busy single professionals who want to try and find love?
I do. I recommend singles assess their priorities with complete honesty. And that's honesty to themselves and not to somebody else. They don't owe anything to anybody. So if you decide that you want love in your life, you need to welcome it in and invest the time and the energy that it requires to find it and afterwards to nurture it. If you want love, but you want a solid professional success first, it's important to acknowledge that too and make it clear to all potential matches so as to avoid disappointment on both sides. It's possible to have both. A healthy work-life balance is the ultimate sign of success, and that's really what 3 Matches is here to help clients achieve.
Thanks, Margaux, for joining me today. It has been great to speak with you. For our listeners, you can find more information at www.3matches.com. To follow real-life dating adventures and misadventures, you can check out www.365dates.com, where 4 women in 4 cities go on 365 dates between them.